Welcome to Pinball Mayhem. My name's Jeremy, and what we're going to do today, as the thumbnail suggests, is we're going to look at phantom switch hits. One of the things that Cactus Canyon Remake has that's superior in some ways to the original is it uses inductive sensors for some of the kind of high traffic areas. It's got them on the ramps, it's got them kind of in the back, in the loop around the back there, and basically you avoid a mechanical switch that can get dirty and whatnot and not register correctly, so the game knows where the ball is most of the time. Unfortunately, what I've found can happen with these Cactus Canyon remakes, and probably some other CGC projects too, I'm not really sure, Chicago Gaming Company, is that there's a slight amount of corrosion that can happen with the connector on the circuit board. When that happens, you get phantom switch hits. And what is a phantom switch hit? Basically, when I'm playing this game, what I noticed for this particular example is when I was playing it, I would be hitting something down lower on the playfield, and I'd be getting combos for going up around the back loop on the machine, and it's like, why am I getting that? And you know, you can see it in the display, combo, combo, combo. It's like I'm not even in that area. So follow along. We're gonna see how to fix that problem. It's pretty darn simple, and hope you like it. To start out with, after you pull the glass off, open the coin door, then press enter. Go down to test. We're going to do a switch test. And there it is, switch test. Now right there up, I'll zoom in here. On the right, we've got the history, which is great because we see coin door closed and the enter key. If I open the coin door again, we get an indication of which switch it is on the left. And on the history, it's on the right. But to determine an intermittent switch on the playfield, like I'm getting on mine, I'm getting an awful lot of combos when I'm not going back up in the loop. Just pound on the playfield. Up on the right, we're getting right loop top. And the mind switch is a little sensitive too on this one. There's train encoder. So it's nothing to really worry about, but right loop top. So I was getting a mind issue, but the right loop top is what I want to look at. So to work on that, we need to empty the balls and lift up the playfield and reseat the connectors. This is a very common issue on these Cactus Canyon games. Alright, so I got the playfield up in the service position, and I was getting a right loop top. I don't think it was the optos, because it said top. So I think the issue is our switch there, and it's not really the switch is not bad, but we follow the wire up, and it leads to this circuit board right there. And pretty much all we should have to do is carefully unplug this and plug it back in. Notice I have the game off. I don't want to do anything to disrupt this, so I'm going to unplug this switch, plug it back in, and maybe some other ones on this board. But let's just try unplugging this one, because it's not a bad switch. So pulling that connector off and on, you really got to be careful because there's hot glue that is used on there, so you got to carefully remove that and pull the switch off and on. And I probably damaged the lock a little bit. I don't think it's going to be as secure, but I can re-hot glue it. But just pulling it on and off a couple times. Let me move you a little closer. We'll focus back in here. Now we'll bang on the playfield. And the playfield's moving, but we are not getting the switch error. So just to make sure everything else is working, we'll just hit a switch here. So I'm hitting this stand-up target. But no more phantom switch hits. Whoa, what did you think of that fix? That was pretty darn easy, didn't require any extra parts, and yeah, things went pretty darn smooth, and it is working much better now. Hope you check out the rest of our content. I do have a playlist specifically for the Cactus Canyon videos. I've done quite a few, and I think you'll find some of them are pretty darn interesting. Let me know what you think in the comments.